Hey, so today's my birthday, and last weekend my wife wanted to let me, as kind of an early birthday present, um, build a second potato cannon. And so I went to Home Depot and got the stuff, and this time I figured, since my first one was um, kind of experimental. I didn't really entirely know like the proportions I should use between chamber to barrel. Um, I spent a little bit to figure out the math for that, and so the proper proportion um, to get the best distance out of your potato um, is in terms of volume 1.5 to 1 from blast chamber to barrel um, in volume. And so I figured that out, and I thought it would be easier to put it into chart. So that's what I did, and I have I have a copy of that online. So, anyways, grab the cannon. So I took the opportunity, in addition to changing the chamber and barrel size, and also just wanting to make a bigger one, to also rethink the design of my handle and how I press the igniter switch. So um, there's still a couple things I'm a little unsure of how I want to finish it, but it's not like holding up my being able to use it at all. So anyways, so doesn't quite fit all in the frame very well, but it's about a 40-inch barrel and 15-inch chamber. Um, this thing is a blast. No pun intended. A lot of fun. And so let me just show a quick couple things about the design here. I did a little bit better job this time at filing down the end of the barrel, and that helps cut through the potato a lot better when you're pushing the potato in, so then you don't have to cut it to size because the barrel will do that. And then something else, I guess, just working down the barrel here at the base here, kind of hard to see, but where that electrical tape is, there's a bump there and a bump there and a couple others around there. What I did there is I put a couple holes through at two different angles, and I put a couple of nails through. And so then what that does is, with my other potato cannon, I actually have a dedicated ramrod that I have kind of a stop on the ramrod so that I don't push the potato in too far and push it into the blast chamber. But on this one, this is something one of my neighbors suggested. I think he's done this. Is you put a couple of stops at the end of the barrel, so then you can use whatever ramrod you have on hand, and you never have to worry about pushing the potato in too far. Just so long as you don't like ram it through so hard to slice it past the nails. Yeah, so that's that. And then here, actually, I'm gonna go grab my other cannon real quick for comparison. Alright, so here's my other cannon in comparison. A lot smaller, you can see it actually fits on the screen. And yeah, so the igniter switch is a little bit different. For my old one, I used an old shop vac extension cut for the handle. It works fairly well. One of the problems I was having with this cannon is because of the, let's see if I can show that. Yeah, because of the igniter setup, I was actually finding I wouldn't get a consistent spark every time, and one of the reasons why is because it's really kind of a awkward setup to clean. Um, Makes it hard to clean out the gunk from the hairspray or antiperspirant or whatever I'm using. And so, yeah, so I did a little bit of a different igniter setup, which I'm going to show you here. So on this one, let's see here. Yeah, there you go. So this one has a much bigger spark gap, so it creates a bigger arc, which, I mean, the size of the arc probably doesn't matter too much, but it's also slightly farther towards the back. So one assumption could be that wherever the explosion starts or the arc ignites in the chamber, the blast is going to spread very quickly away from there. So I put the igniters farther towards the back with the hopes that maybe that would help it blast more towards the front, and then you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. That's just an assumption I made. I don't know if it actually does anything more than the other one. But anyways, and then this one, I was thinking of putting a handle right here so you could pull it like a trigger, but this works just as well. And so, yeah, so that's what I did with that. The main thing I'm unsure about, if I want to do it differently or do something about, is this igniter switch. So I don't have this secured in. The wires are connected, but I made it so that in the event that something happens to my igniter, years down the road it breaks or something like that, then it wouldn't be hard to just pull it out and replace it with a new one. The wires, I don't see how anything should really happen with those much unless I'm really rough on it. As for the igniter contacts on the inside, you can see I replaced one of them with a nail, so I have 2 points that it's arcing across. So which makes it a lot easier to clean them. So anyways, and then in terms of cleaning and fuel, also, I had an idea. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but I had the idea if I were to get an additional blast cap, so then I wouldn't have to create a whole new cannon for this. I could actually use this system on either cannon if I wanted to. I was thinking I could potentially pick up a propane regulator and, like a couple camping things of propane for like a camp stove or a blowtorch, and figure out a way to hook that up straight to the blast cap so I can use straight propane for this. Probably make it more efficient and wouldn't require as much cleanup from all the other residues in the hairsprays and antiperspirants. So that was a thought I had. And the only issue or thing the main question I have about how I would set that up is, what was it? I just lost it. Oh, I know. Is how I would get a good portion of air in there too, because the propane won't. I don't know that the propane will explode or ignite just if it's propane in there. I think you have to have a good proportion of air in there as well. So I don't know, just some things to think about. But enough talking. I'm gonna blast it for you. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gonna be aiming for the treetop right kind of back in that opening right in there. So see if I have something better for pointing. There is a smaller tree right in here, and I usually aim for that opening right up in there. So that's where I'll be trying to shoot. Oh, and today I'm going to be using the Right Guard Sport antiperspirant. Alright. Okay. So I think this potato probably isn't going to cut a lot because it's pretty close to size, but there we go. Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one. Alright. Ooh, yeah. Got a good seal on that. I don't see any air on that, so I got a good seal, and as long as I get the right ratio of fuel to air, it should blast really well. And I usually use a little more fuel on this because it's a bigger chamber. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Woo, yeah. Alright, let me do one more here. Gotta air it out. This one also creates a lot more fumes because bigger chamber, bigger explosion. Oh yeah, this will be a real good one. I try not to cut my potatoes down too much for this one because it's a longer barrel and has more power. I just like to see, you know, if it'll go decently far. Helps them go straighter if I don't cut them down too much. Oh yeah, that got a good seal too. Alright. Igniter's working good. That was a little bit bigger potato, so it didn't go quite as far, but still went pretty good. That's one thing too, is sometimes depending on the blast and some other things, it'll actually make the lid or the blast cap really hard to take off. So, anyways, I may have said this in my other video about my other potato cannon last year, but one thing I've learned about these cannons is when you're done shooting and you go and put your cannon away, you don't want to put the blast cap back on, or the you don't want to store the ramrod in the barrel either, because that will prevent airflow from helping to clean out your cannon. If you have too many leftover fumes from your last session of firing, then if you were shooting a lot last time, then sometimes it'll, for some reason, make it really hard to start shooting again next time you want to. So, anyways, that's a little something I learned. Have a nice day.